The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Blackjack, a Jackalope Folk Warlock.
I'm Connor Shenold, and I play Jaska, a Coyote Ranger.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Twitch, a Rat Folk Wizard.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Biansi, a Spider-Can Cleric.
I'm Kim Cross, and I play Beatrix, a Tabaxi Rogue.
And I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Billy, a Opossum Fighter. And this time, I'm also your Dungeon Master. Join us as we go into the wilds.
Billy has entered his dungeon run room and sees a table set with 4 scrolls, as well as 4 pedestals beyond those scrolls. A mouth had just appeared, saying to sort the scrolls by their schools, and the way will be revealed. The pedestals each have a school of magic written: evocation, conjuration, abjuration, and divination. The scrolls sit there on the table, still rolled up. What would you like to do, Billy?
I guess I'm gonna go to the scroll farthest to the left, and I'm gonna open it and try to read it.
Okay, give me a history check. Remember, do you have advantage?
Because of Eugene's glasses.
Yep.
It's an 18.
So you managed to read it. It appears to be a scroll of cure wounds.
And it's on which pedestal currently?
It's not on any pedestal.
Okay, then
currently.
they're not on
Basically,
pedestals.
there's a table, and then there's pedestals behind that table.
And what's on each one of the pedestals?
Abjuration, evocation,
Conjuration,
and divination.
I'll say you can unroll all of the scrolls as a free action, read them. The scrolls are Cure Wounds, Ice Knife, Shield, and Locate Object.
I would like to take Locate Object scroll and put it on the divination column.
So you put it on, and you hear a...
Billy cheers. He throws his hands up above his head and says, "Woohoo!"
Yeah, so you assume the ding is a good sign.
Excellent.
You still have Cure
Wounds, Ice Knife, and Shield.
And I will say a round has passed because you did place one.
Okay, I would like to take the Shield. No, take the Ice Knife and put it on Conjuration.
So you put on Conjuration, and you hear a...
Oh my gosh, Billy is a genius! I know you can hear me out there. I'm so smart.
And you still have...
Evocation and Abjuration.
And Cure Wounds and Shield.
Shield. I would like to take Cure Wounds and put it on the Evocation column.
I can't believe this. Where did he learn this?
I don't know, Blackjack. Everything in this land of yours is backwards and upside down.
This one, and he picks up the Shield one and puts it on the only one left, which is Abjuration.
And you hear yet another ding as the door opens for you.
I go outside and I'm gonna say, honestly, I have no idea what the word Abjuration even means. Glad it was the last one.
So 4 rounds.
Excellent. As Billy exits the dungeon, the campers watching on a sheet across the field cheer. Brock punches the air and whoops, and Callista smiles brightly, her eyes twinkling like stars and her hair turning a dusty shade of blue, the moment before a pink dawn. And Tinkertop steps onto his trusty wooden crate, blows his whistle to get the campers' attention. Bravo! Bravo! Let's give a big round of applause for our victorious counselors and their outstanding dungeon run. Truly a spectacular performance. Now, my young adventurers, don't fret. Starting right after Parents' Day tomorrow, you'll have your chance to shine and claim the coveted high score. But now it's time to retire to our cabins. And he checks the device on his wrist before continuing. Lights out is in exactly 30 minutes. Say goodnight and head off to Dreamland. But not really. No interdimensional doors on campgrounds. I'm looking at you, Imp Cabin. And he shoots a stern glance at a group of elven boys whose shoulders kind of like schwump. The campers disperse, chattering and buzzing with excitement, and as the last echoes of applause die away, Tinkertop steps down and signals for you to gather around him. Good job. Excellent work. While you were in the dungeon run, I had some of the other counselors do a thorough perimeter check, and guess what? No breaches in the barrier. Not a one! The safety of Camp Glimmerwood is intact.
You hear that, Jaska? Not a one.
Can I do an insight?
Sure.
Oh, natural 1 for a 5.
Here's the thing, Tinkertop also rolled a 1. But as far as you can tell, Tinkertop genuinely believes there are no breaches in the barrier.
Well, then how would you explain the fact that we were fighting wasps and wolves earlier today?
I'm not sure, but the barrier is strong, so must have been a one-time thing.
Just a second ago, didn't you say that Imp Cabin has the ability to open portals?
They did that once and it caused a problem. But I don't think that they've done it this year. Usually you can, listen, the whole camp knows. The whole place lights up like Frogmas.
So what you're saying is that at any point, any kind of magic might be able to disturb what's going on here.
Not without detection. Usually if you do magic like a teleport or something like that, it's pretty, I don't know how else to explain it. The trees know and they light on up and it's really clear that something has happened. And we didn't see any of that. So I'm not sure how they got in. Must have been a one-time thing. Maybe they snuck in when you guys weren't looking behind you. I don't know. So go off, enjoy a peaceful night's sleep. Tomorrow is a big day with Parents' Day just around the corner. Good night, adventurers. And he's gonna walk away.
Twitch, what if the magic were unintentional in some way? What if that would have caused some kind of a breach without anyone really knowing about it?
Well, I don't know the magic of this place in general. Would it be dampened by the protection of the camp? Are you assuming this is naturally occurring?
No, I'm saying, what if something remember, we just got here. What if it's something we've done that caused a breach without us even knowing about it, and would it even cause an alarm?
Oh.
We are an unknown factor here.
Well, also, we were invited.
Right.
Blink, blink, arrows and stuff that we just trusted and came in. I don't know. I don't see how it could be. I don't think it would be us.
Okay. But it might be something to think about. Maybe something to sleep on that.
However, he rubs the edge of his robe. Brought a lot with us. I wonder how that's reacting in here.
In regard to what?
Various items and...
You mean like the magic items that we brought in?
Yes.
Like maybe they've tipped a scale?
That's what I'm saying. I'm worried that maybe we have caused this problem.
We are definitely more powerful than the campers.
Are you saying maybe the wards are trying to suppress some of our items and therefore it's making the barrier weaker?
Or just the power that we've brought in might be weakening the barrier.
We're pulling power from it
Well,
unintentionally.
I know a few of us have teleportation abilities, but I don't think we used it before or after that battle with those wolves.
Like Jack?
No, I haven't used it at all. But certainly not before the wasps and the wolves showed up.
Are we standing outside of the cafeteria?
You're still kind of in the dungeon run area.
Blackjack, have you brought in your little furry friend?
Oh, yeah. Vin Weasel's been with us the whole time.
Did he walk in here with us, or did you call him?
No, he's been with us the whole time.
Okay, because wherever you're calling him from, he's have to step through.
Maybe one of
there's
us
been nothing that we've done.
Maybe one of us can try a Misty Step or a Dimension Door and see if that's
Well, I mean, Beatrix was poofing all around that room.
Oh, that's true.
But that was inside the dungeon room.
And that was...
Oh, maybe the dungeon run is magic, trapper room?
We never really found out exactly what had happened that caused the dungeon run to be closed in the first place.
That was all, yeah, I was curious of that. Blackjack was asking Twitch if he thought maybe our presence was weakening the protection. Can I roll Arcana?
Yeah,
after
for
we chew
sure.
on that a little bit? Okay. 12.
You're not super sure one way or another, but it doesn't make super sense to your brain.
So he wouldn't feel it was...
He wouldn't feel like you guys are a big drain on the system.
Okay.
Maybe, if it was that, it might be a thing. Not for sure.
But that seems a little weird. But before you guys left the area, I did want to point out that you do see your campers all kind of standing in a group talking to each other if you wanted to say something to them before they went to lights out.
Oh, good.
So as you approach the group of campers, you realize they're replaying their favorite parts of the dungeon run.
Man, Mistletoe's pretty spunky. The way they were ready to just fight those other Mistletoes was crazy. It's trying to determine by themselves. Wow.
I was really impressed when Blackjack carried that heavy diamond all the way across the room.
Twitch was a real genius running under that cat while I was distracted.
It was so sweet when Biansi realized his friends could never say something bad about him.
I was really impressed with Billy finally figuring out that answer to that riddle.
My favorite part was watching Beatrix teleport all over the room. It was like she was in 7 places at once. So you guys overhear that as you approach the group. They're not trying to whisper or anything.
Right. Eugene, I've got a question for you. You know magic and you know power, right?
Yes.
We fought those wasps and those wolves earlier. The barrier is supposed to keep them out. Any thoughts on why the barrier might not have worked and these baddies came in?
Well, we didn't really see if they came through the barrier necessarily. They just kind of appeared. I don't know necessarily how they got in here.
Can something be teleported in?
I think the barrier stops most of that, but those creatures they didn't even seem kind of native to this area. I don't know if that helps you at all, but they didn't really seem that native.
It does.
So not that they came through, but that they arrived here or were created here.
Could I do a survival or
Yeah, give me a nature.
13?
So the glimmer lynxes that you met, they were very clearly glimmerwood creatures. They glowed. The fireflies glow. Wolves and wasps, they aren't fitting the vibe. That doesn't check out.
Now that I think about it, most creatures that we've seen here tend to glow like the glimmer would, and those wasps and wolves didn't have that particular glow that those vapor lynxes did. Can I recall through the travels of my experience in the Feywild where they might be located from?
No.
Okay.
If Blackjack or
Yeah.
Biansi wanted to think about it, they could maybe.
If we were to do a nature or...
A nature.
Do y'all recall where you might find those type of wolves from?
I'll take over answer this question.
Yeah, it's only an 11.
Ziansi, go ahead and make me a survival or nature check at advantage.
Oh, a 19 on the die. Yeah, let's use survival and make it a 21.
You don't really know the specific creatures themselves, but these creatures seem very similar to ones you've dealt with before in forests more close to Athena's. Ones that are right outside of the city usually have similar creatures to these.
These are most common, if I remember correctly, the woodlands around Athenas, outside of Athenas.
That's why they seem familiar to me as well.
Which is about a week or so of travel away. I mean, they could have wandered all the way over here, but wasp and wolves together?
Which makes it think that this might have been more of a malevolent attack.
Yeah, like they were brought and released here or something. Yeah.
Somehow they came in and no alarms went off. So maybe there's not actually a breach. They did check for a breach. Maybe there actually was just a teleport in and somehow someone was able to bypass the alarms.
Well, I think we've exhausted enough of what we can gather from this.
And as you look over, you notice Tinkertop striding over towards you and pointing at his wrist again. And he says, "All right, young adventurers, the hour is growing late, and we have a date with the Sandman. Lights out is in 5 short minutes. We wouldn't want you to miss out on the wonders of Dreamland, now would we? Off to your cabins, let the stars watch over your peaceful slumber."
I would feel better if we escorted our campers
I think,
to their
right.
cabins.
So let's go ahead and get everyone. We'll walk our campers to their cabins.
Does Kinsley wear a sash with all her badges on it? Mm-hmm. So as I'm walking Kinsley and the others to their cabin, I'm just going to look over the badge. And is there a badge of playing a musical instrument?
Yeah, she'd be a fan of the harp. She'd be a harp player for sure. Happy Harper is what this badge is called.
Kinsley, I see you have a music badge there.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones I got. I was very proud of it.
Was that fun?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you have any other badges on here that were fun, or were they a task?
I mean, they're all tasks.
Yeah.
And the fun comes in the completion of the tasks.
Get some sleep, kid.
So you guys walk down the gravel path past the cabins, and you see your campers turn in for the night. Through the mesh door of Brock's cabin, you see him scrounging around on the floor for something before shouting, "Oh man, not again! I really liked those socks!" Eugene heads towards the Sphinx cabin, his floating books a little droopy as he yawns. Kinsley and the Pixie Scouts laugh conspiratorially as they head towards the Pixie cabin. Callista is halfway up her ladder, which is leaned against the side of the Phoenix cabin. I'm going to go sit on the roof. Elion gives you a big thumbs up as he plops down into a hammock hanging on the porch of Dragon cabin. And you even spot a handful of butterflies flitting around the sculpture outside the Hippocampus cabin. And as you close in on the Owlbear cabin, you see Oliver greet you once again. And Blackjack, you want to give me perception or insight on Oliver, since you are so interested in him.
15.
With a 15, you notice that Oliver has a new accessory. It seems he has a little top hat perched on his head, and sticking out of the top hat are a set of tall ears and a set of horns.
Oliver, you've never looked better. Listen, just something to keep aware of. We might have had a breach earlier today, with wasps and wolves that attacked, so I know you feel strongly about being our protector here, so if you could keep an eye out overnight, it would be much appreciated.
Give me another perception.
21.
You can't prove it, but you're pretty sure he made eye contact with you.
I'm not telling anyone.
So the porch cover over the door that's held up by posts, I'm going to go into one of the posts, I'm going to put my hand on it, I'm going to go, "Watch over us tonight, big fella. Make sure no wasps or anything get in." And kind of look over my shoulder at Blackjack and, and then go into the cabin.
The question is, do we want to keep watch overnight?
Absolutely.
That was going to be my
about
question.
to ask.
Do you guys want to set up watches or not?
Yeah, we do.
We do set up a patio, and is there like a rocking chair or a chair on that patio that we can?
100% there would be a chair on the patio.
So we will take watches.
I'll go first.
Billy likes to go second.
I'll go third.
Fourth.
I'll go fifth.
And I'll go last.
So we'll just have everybody roll their perceptions
Yeah.
at once. Biansi,
12. But I also have the whip of warning.
Beatrix,
9.
Blackjack.
24.
27.
20. Of course, perception checks.
Yeah.
Blackjack, give me a D4.
A 4.
Okay, Blackjack. Sitting on the porch. The air is cool. Still definitely summer air. But it's the cool of night. Trees are glowing the way they glow. And even the wood on the outside of the cabins glows a little bit, having been made from glimmerwood trees. Across the gravel path from you is the Hippocampus cabin, which is where Dahlia is. And the next door to that is the Phoenix cabin, where Callista stays. Then Sphinx with Eugene. And at the front is Brock's Griffin cabin. Directly next door is Elion. And then on the other side of Elion are the Pixie Scouts. And you are looking out, kind of surveying everything. Cabin is quiet. You notice Eugene's light stays on, even though you are deep into the night by the time it gets to your watch. And you almost don't see it. And then you do. And you peer out into the darkness and you notice a peculiar procession of raccoons moving from shadow to shadow between the dark cabins. The night air is filled with the rustling of leaves and the soft padding of raccoon feet. They're in a somewhat orderly line, and each of them carries a small object in its mouth. And as they kind of get closer to Owlbear cabin, you realize each of them has a marshmallow clasped firmly in its teeth. The line is led by a particularly cheeky raccoon, strutting around with an air of importance as he carries his marshmallow. Behind it, the other raccoons follow suit, forming a single file parade of mischievous bandits. And at the end of this raccoon parade, a noticeably plump raccoon waddles along. This portly fellow seems to have hit the jackpot, carrying an entire bag of marshmallows. The bag dangles from his mouth, swaying slightly with each step.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
Okay, Jaska, it is your turn. Give me a d4. Re-roll it if you hit a 4.
A 1.
As your watch shift unfolds, the air around Owlbear Cabin becomes illuminated by the delicate dance of glimmerwood fireflies. The luminescent creatures move with an ethereal grace, forming mesmerizing shapes and patterns against the canvas of the night, and you actually even recognize a few of them as Feywild constellations. Display is not just a random scattering of lights, but a choreographed ballet of nature's own design. The fireflies swirl and twirl, tracing out intricate figures in the air, and at times they align to create a shape, the hazy outline of a dragon, and they blink blue. The dragon seems to exist for just a moment, leaving an afterimage of blue as the light fades away, and the dance continues, and the fireflies shift seamlessly from one formation to another. Spirals and loops, cascading waves unfold in the darkness, casting a gentle, pulsating glow over the surroundings. But the night passes without much event. And you wake up the next morning to the sound of trumpets echoing across the camp. The sun is bright, and the air holds on to the coolness of night. And as you get ready for the day, you hear a quiet knock on the door.
I'll go answer it.
So, Jaska, outside your door is a raccoon. It rubs its eye with one fist and holds out a note towards you.
I'll grab the note.
The note is a little sticky, but is addressed towards Owlbear Cabin. The raccoon looks up at you expectantly.
She'll take a moment to read it over. Good morning to my favorite counselors. In my effort to ensure that Camp Glimmerwood is safe and protected, I'm having counselors do regular perimeter checks. About time. This morning, it's your turn. If you could do a quick check around the camp perimeter looking for breaches in the barrier, that would be ideal. Keep your eyes open and let me know if you find anything. I'll see you at lunch for your report. Have a tip-top morning. Signed by Fizzlepop Tinkertop. P.S. Send Bradley back to my office after they deliver this note. I have reports that need the notary stamp. Thanks. Are you Bradley, little raccoon?
The raccoon nods.
Oh, it's so fantastic that you're a little notary. That's awesome. Well, he wants you to head back and we'll do our perimeter check once I get everybody up for the morning.
He holds eye contact with you for a beat, kind of nods once and scampers off.
Everybody, it's time to wake up. I got our coffee set up for the morning and we got a bit of a task to do before we meet up with our campers. Thankfully, Fizzletop is finally taking the perimeter more seriously than he was yesterday.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's about time.
And now it's our turn to do a bit of a perimeter check, and we just need to report back to him if we find anything suspicious.
You do have on the table in the center of the cabin, it seems that it somehow, some way, there is a small little like continental breakfast situation, like juice and muffins, fruit. But it seems like everybody kind of takes breakfast in their cabin.
All right then, well, I think this is a really good idea. Plus, it also gives us a chance to look at how big this camp might actually be. I've been kind of wondering that myself. It seems like when we fought the wasps or the wolves, we were very far away from the cantina. And so maybe this is much larger. Does it feel like an extra dimensional space? Because it was already weird that when we got to the gateway, it looked like the forest continued until we entered into the gateway. So does this feel like an extra dimensional space?
I'll let you give me an arcana with advantage at this point.
Can I give myself guidance?
Sure.
21.
Yes and no. You are definitely still in the Glimmerwood, but you have no way of knowing if the arch you went through is the location of camp inside the Glimmerwood forest. The forest is very large, so the idea occurs to you that maybe there are multiple arches throughout the forest and they all transport the given person that's supposed to, because remember, you can only go through the arch if you're supposed to go through it. So then you wonder, do you even see the arches if you're not supposed to go through it? And so the idea occurs to you that maybe camp is in a place separate from its gate, or that it moves around as part of its safety precautions inside the Glimmerwood.
Oh, I love that idea. So that actually, if we are in the right place, if we're supposed to be there, then the camp will show up where we need to be.
Yes.
But for everyone else, they would just see the forest. And for everyone else, nothing interesting ever happens here.
Correct.
So let's take a perimeter sweep and see what we can find out, unless there's anything else that we need to do before that.
Should we go in groups again? One person go one way, the other way, and then we'll meet up in the center?
I don't like the idea of leaving you guys alone again. It was a close call last time.
Well, I do have a way we can split up and still communicate.
I say we stick together because that's going to take us a little bit longer, but it shouldn't take us. We're just going to walk around the perimeter.
I agree. Beatrix?
You want to ride, Billy?
Yes, please.
Up you go.
I don't want to slow down the group. So as you stroll along the camp's perimeter, which appears to you as like you go, essentially your plan is just head in one direction until you hit something that looks like a perimeter, because that's the information you have. So you do this, and when you get to the perimeter, you actually see the neon green that all Camp Glimmerwood things are. There's a literal line on the ground, and you just kind of walk next to this line. If you try to touch the perimeter, it feels like you're touching Jello. It's there.
Right, we can go through it because we're supposed to be able to pass through it in and out.
But it's also solid.
Right.
So the morning sun casts stippled shadows through the thick canopy of ancient trees. Gentle breeze rustles the leaves. The air is filled with the sweet scent of pine. A curious squirrel follows you a few steps before scampering away to join his furry friends. The vibrant hues of wildflowers dot the edges of the trail, creating a picturesque scene that makes the routine patrol quite pleasant. You don't see any breaches or weaknesses in the barrier at all. It seems powerful and undisturbed.
This still goes to my theory that maybe it wasn't a breach in the perimeter, and if that's all they're checking for, then something could have gotten through. Now, I know this is kind of weird. Does it feel like it's a dome rather than a wall?
You could Eldritch Blast it, I guess.
Yeah, let me just go and shoot up an Eldritch Blast.
What color is your magic?
Purple.
So purple light streaks from Blackjack's hand straight up into the air, and it hits the barrier at the top. And as it hits that barrier kind of violently, all of the Glimmerwood trees in your direction flash and blink bright neon green, brighter than they were a second ago. And you understand what Tinkertop means about understanding when things go through the breach.
Wow.
The whole camp is notified, alarm system style.
Yeah. So it's a dome. It is not a wall, which I figured it was probably a dome.
Scary things can fly.
So we are protected here under a dome, but it still doesn't negate the fact that somebody could have transported these things in and somehow negated the alarm or bypassed the alarm.
But how would they know where to transport stuff in if the camp is like a secret?
Could someone here have just conjured them?
Like one of the campers?
I guess it is not impossible, but it definitely wasn't Eugene. He's a nice boy.
Yeah, but he could have done it inadvertently.
That's what I'm worried about. I don't think that anyone in this camp, I haven't felt any nefarious or malevolent feelings from anybody here.
Beatrix, what about your girl? Doesn't she have like crazy things that
Well,
happen?
that was exactly what I was pondering at the moment. I mean, she does have that, what did she call it, the wild magic? So I know she accidentally turned part of her cabin blue for a period of time, which, I mean, is no bad thing in my mind, but I don't know that she would even be aware of anything accidentally happening.
But I mean, turning something blue is very different than conjuring in violent creatures.
And
That's what I mean. I don't know that
yeah.
she would know that she had done that.
Right. I remember that sorcerer that we hung out with, Zancy, the Kenku that we were traveling with for a while. And, the wild magic would happen, except for that one time when the fireball went on around us. But that was different.
I hope those feathers grow back.
Yes. But nothing seemed like they were able to transport something in or conjure certainly something as specific as wasps and wolves. I don't think that was it.
Now, the fireflies.
Right?
The fireflies that guided us here were outside of the camp. Are the fireflies free to come and go? Can we just walk out and come back in? The other counselors left unannounced to go to a carnival.
Which is still suspicious. I'm wondering how they were drawn away, or maybe they're just whimsical and didn't care.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm kind of a genius now, and Billy pushes his glasses up on his nose. So remember, Mr. Tinkertop said that they were going to the Carnival of Luck. We know a pretty lucky guy who may have sent us here.
But Billy, you're not saying that Seos is causing the trouble.
Maybe not necessarily not, but I think that Mr. Seos wanted us here in this camp, and so he lured the other counselors away with this festival so that we would have a job.
But I think it's also the fact that we are needed here. We've dealt with these kinds of things that maybe Fizzlepop couldn't deal with on his own, and so we are here to help.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he needs help.
I think basically we are just here to stick around until we find out if anything's going on. It's a little bit harder because we just came off of solving this major mystery. Maybe it's not much of a mystery at all.
Why are we should be experts at this.
Right.
Everyone give me perception checks. Billy and Blackjack disadvantage because you guys have been talking a lot.
A 4.
21 for Ziansi.
21 for Blackjack.
21
at disadvantage.
for Beatrix.
Okay.
How about +7?
Wow.
You all who got 20 or higher, which I think is Blackjack, Beatrix, and Ziansi, you get to a part of the barrier where it looks like this part of the camp hasn't been used in years. Trees have kind of overgrown and taken part of this area just a little bit. It's still on the side of the barrier, but clearly it hasn't really been messed with that much recently. You three swear you can hear the faintest, like someone's talking over there inside of those wooded area.
Beatrix poofs just a little bit. I hear voices.
I'm hearing that too, Beatrix.
Oh, great.
What are you hearing?
Voices. I can't make out exactly what it is that they're saying, but somebody's talking right over there.
Oh, we should go say hi.
Well, now that it's been brought to our attention, did everyone hear it?
No, you still can't quite hear it, but as you are having this conversation, all of a sudden you hear this crash, almost like stone going through wood. It doesn't sound like it's coming towards you, it just sounds like something got crushed by stone that was wooden.
Wait, Blackjack, maybe we should have Twitch do his arcane eye thing.
Let me take a look.
And I was actually going to say that I'm going to send Van Weasel in with you, and I'm going to work through that as well. So.
Okay. Sending in Van Weasel and the eye, you see these strange figures. 2 of them appear to be these big rock humanoids, very large, and you two, I think, would recognize these as just simple earth elementals. And 2 figures that appear to be talking. They appear to have this have almost this rock-like skin with long hair everywhere from the beard to the hair on their head, and they appear to be talking in a language. Do either of you speak Sylvan?
Blackjack does.
Yes, common and Sylvan.
And also to point out, what they appear to be destroying appears to be some sort of, looks like an older structure. Doesn't appear to be a tree or anything. Appears to be like an older cabin-looking thing. Doesn't look like there's anyone there. And you hear one of them in Sylvan say, well, let's just destroy this building. I mean, it has no reason to be here, and we'll go on to the rest of them afterwards.
Okay, I think I've got what's going on here.
I saw them talking. Did you know what they were saying?
They were destroying this building and then moving on to the next one. I think they might actually be employees of the place.
And
So
once
that's-
again, you hear another crash.
Okay, so I want to go straight toward them and say, hail and well met. My name is Blackjack, and these are my friends.
Hello, we are just counselors doing a perimeter check.
This is a demolition site. You can't really be over here right now. The boss told us to keep everyone away.
While they're talking, I'm having my eye go through the rubble and in and out any partial buildings.
It appears to just be this old cabin, clearly abandoned, hasn't been used in years. And anyone give me an insight check.
Oh, dear.
Come on.
8.
I can't roll worth nothing today.
9.
6.
I'm busy with my eye.
8.
16.
There we go.
Ziansi, just something about these two doesn't seem right. Why would Fizzlepop be destroying an old cabin? What would be the reason for that? Especially, like, we'll move on to the others. They're talking about the other cabins. So something seems off about that.
Ziansi's meditating about this for a moment or two, and he's going to cast Detect Good or Evil on these creatures. Detect Good and Evil for the duration, which will be concentration or 10 minutes. If there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet, I know where it's located, and this spell penetrates most barriers.
Well, first off, you obviously get a detection from Mudman. He's elemental.
Yes.
Because he's still here. But the earth elementals are clearly elementals themselves. These two stone guys with long hair that appear to be talking to you appear to be Fae, considered Fae. And they say, sorry about that, but we're gonna have to get you all to leave. It's not good over here.
And then with that, can I maybe do some type of nature or arcana check to see if Fae with long hair and
Yeah, give me a survival or nature arc.
This is the third 19 in a row that I have rolled. Did you say nature or insight?
I'm gonna say with a 19, you succeed on
Okay,
no matter what
awesome.
you do. But you recognize these creatures as Koreds. You do know them as secretive creatures that have strong ties to earth and stone. Usually they keep their own company, but you know, they're not usually that aggressive. It just depends on what they're usually told to do, but you don't really know too much about them other than that.
Is there a way to do an insight check to see what their intention is?
Detect thoughts.
Twitch. You hear in their head, okay, we need to get rid of these guys and then just bulldoze the rest of the camp.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Wilds is Kiri Hester as Billy and our Dungeon Master, Connor Shenold as Jaska, Johnny Payne as Twitch, Kim Cross as Beatrix, Brooke Bullock as Ziansi, and I'm Michael Cross as Blackjack. The showrunner for Campaign 2 is Aiden Cross. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician PJ Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music, courtesy of Monument Studios, Sirenscape, Describe.com, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by SD Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you are enjoying Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we travel farther into the wilds.
The scrolls are Cure Wounds, Ice Knife, Shield, and Locate Object.
The interesting fun thing about this, sports fans, is that you get this in real time because Kiri also doesn't know how the schools of magic work. This isn't me pretending to not know because of Billy. This is just me not knowing.
I can't believe this. When did he learn this?
I've always known these things. I feel
You can't hear me.
I feel Blackjack's criticism. I feel
You could have sworn you heard
Blackjack's.
Blackjack's voice, but you're not sure.
I can also feel Twitch's skepticism. Say, honestly, I have no idea what the word abjuration even means. Glad it was the last one.
I had history checks prepped for that in case you wanted to make history checks, and you
Billy
just solved
is
it.
just here to guess. This
Wow.
is how Billy lives his life.
Wow.
And you were gonna get shocked if you guessed wrong.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Darn.
Listen, the whole camp knows. The whole place lights up like Christmas. I mean, like Frogmas. Which canonically is a holiday established in this world.
Yes, we did.
Slept right through it. I didn't even
Oh, yeah,
know.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot you always sleep through
It's
it.
okay. Twitch has got us.
Okay.
That signature, I believe it's Fizzlepop, but it looks very suspicious.
I remember when you were not suspicious of anything.
I know.
Right?
That's my girl.
She has learned well. Does this feel like an extra-dimensional space?
I'll let you give me an Arcana with advantage at this point.
Can I give myself guidance?
Sure.
21,
You're gonna love this answer,
Yes.
Michael. Yes and no.
right? I would expect nothing different.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
If we are in the right place, if we're supposed to be there, then the camp will show up where we need to be.
Yes.
The camp of requirement.
The camp of requirement. You need summer camp, kid? Got any good news for you.
I do have a way we can split up and still communicate.
Communicating may not save your life, Mr. Twitch.
Right. We need to at
But
least be in
be able
pairs.
to hear the screams and know.
At least in pairs.
Now we know that myself, Twitch, and
Zianthi
Zianthi
do not make a good team?
Good team. So how about you, Twitch, and
Well, I say we actually stay together. I
Yeah.
think that would, it might take us a little bit longer.
The DNPC is really insisting on this.
I mean, we only have until lunchtime, though.
And remember what that one bard told us. Don't you know you never split the party? Okay, I'm the only one that knows that. Never mind.
We all,
You're not the only one that knows that.
You're the only one that cares.
Yeah.
Does it feel like it's a dome rather than a wall?
if Jaska wants to try to shoot the sky Katniss style, we can. So remember, Mr. Tinkertop said that they were going to the Carnival of Luck. We know a pretty lucky guy who may have sent us here. It's Mr. Lord Cianci.
Yeah, we remember that.
Well, so it's
Usually Cianci gets very excited when we make these kinds of connections, and he wasn't saying anything.
so maybe it's like Cios doesn't actually get us to where we want to be, but gets us to where we need to be. That's a Doctor Who reference.
And can you really blame those other counselors for not wanting to work with Fizzlepop?
I think that Mr. Cios wanted us here in this camp, and so he lured the other counselors away with this festival so that we would have a job. He wants us to have good resume items.
It's a little bit harder because we just came off of solving this major mystery. Maybe it's not much of a mystery at all.
Why are we should be experts at this.
Right.
We're, award-winning detectives.
All right. We're like the Scooby-Doo gang.
Can I be Scooby?
So you are definitely
of course
Scooby.
you're Scooby.
We're like Scrappy. Scrappy Doo.
He is annoying.
You're brave like him.
And Elion is Shaggy.
Right.
Yeah.
As you are having this conversation, all of a sudden you hear this crash, almost like stone going through wood.
I was going to say stealth, but we've got to go.
Are we just going to run away?
No, go.
I'm running the opposite direction.
You run. It goes the other way.